I gotta say, I was pretty irritated with that Turo. Fuck that Turo rental interaction that I just had, to the point where I wanted to kill that guy.
Well, I mean, you heard my suggestion.
So we're on the
ride or die, bro.
We're recording now, so we'll keep option
A. Ride or die,
and
bro.
a non-disclosed status.
So,
but bro, what is it about? Because sometimes I feel like I might be an alcoholic in my heart. I don't drink hardly ever, but dude, I was shaking. You saw me. I didn't come in right away because I was out in the car dealing with this retard. And when I walked in, you handed me a bottle of whiskey, and I had a pull, and it's just like all is well now.
We're not alcoholics. We're drunks. There's a difference. Alcoholics go to meetings.
So I don't want to fucking completely unpack that again, but I guess since we're talking about it on the podcast, I'll let listeners in on what the fuck just happened. But I'm down in New Orleans. Guns Gis 10 is starting tonight, and I went right from my hunting trip. I was up in Wisconsin hunting deer at my buddy's property up there, and I rented a Turo for the week. So for people who don't know what Turo is, it's Airbnb for cars. And there's an app, and you just say like where you're going, how many days you need it, and someone will drop their car off for you. And it's actually fucking awesome.
Can be. I've had 3 bad experiences.
All right. I've had 1 now.
I've had 3.
And I probably used it 10 times.
All right, well, let's say I've had 2 bad experiences. I'm on my
I'm your third. But, dude, I take care of people's shit. I'm a respectable person. Like, I would never fucking...
And you're clean.
Yeah,
you're a clean person.
I'm clean as fuck, dude. Like, I'm a clean freak. And the undercarriage of his car... And, bro, Wisconsin got a lot of rain last week. Like, the first 2 days we were there was like fucking monsoon. And my buddy's driveway to his cabin is gravel. From the road to his cabin is 100 meters.
So rain, gravel road, there may be some dirt that turns into some mud.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, but...
Got some muck, like, inside of the tire well. And not, like, caked on. You saw the pictures.
I saw the pictures.
And he just charged me $150. And I can't contest that.
Yeah.
I don't... It's just... Hey, motherfucker, give me $150. And it's like, dude, I don't know, man.
It was not, I mean, look, and I told you, like, I'm the first one to call you on shit, too. Like, if you went mud bogging in it and there was mud all over the side of the car and stuff, I'd be like, bro, you should have, like, brought it through a spray and wash and, like, sprayed that shit off.
Yeah.
Right? I'd call you, bro, there was a little layer of, like you said, muck on the inside plastic of the tire wells.
Yeah, that's where mud goes.
That's where shit goes. That's why the tire wells exist.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, and like, it's the host's job to clean the vehicle in between renters.
And bro, so I wrote him and I said, bro, I fucking drove your car while it was pouring rain. And he goes, if you swear at me again, I'll report you. Bud. Like, I wasn't even swearing at you. I was just typing. I use fuck all the time. And then it's like, dude, and this is going to go into exactly what this episode is going to be about. But it's like, you got grown-ass men. I'm talking to... You just took $150 from me, and I'm having a conversation with you, and because the word fuck was used, he wants to tell on me. And it's like...
I'm going to tattle on you.
What are we fucking doing, dude?
This is society where we can.
What are we doing?
Look, he's not in fear of any repercussions. That's the problem.
100% that's the problem.
That's the problem. Is there's no fear of repercussions. Like I said to you, I was like, if this was before Toro or whatever, or at the rental counter, I as a person would have to go to you, hey, I'm charging you an extra $150 off your card because there's mud in the tires. And you would either say, fuck you, you're not. And then I'd say, fuck you, I am, or we can fight about it. Or I would just say, okay, you're right, and I'll cower. Like, that's depending on the type of person. But there's a physical repercussion. That's at least a potential.
Well, bro, you said it on last time we did an episode. You're like, I can carry a license in my wallet to pull out a gun and shoot you in the face if the circumstances call for me pulling out a gun and shooting you in the face.
Absolutely.
Now, that's a dramatic way to describe your concealed carry permit.
But accurate.
But that's what it is, bro.
That's what it is. Yeah.
How come there's not a permit to just bitch slap someone?
Yeah, a bitch slap permit. Thwack!
Like, bro, you're being an idiot. Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to slap the shit out of you now.
And that's the end of it.
And it's over. No,
when you live in a society where men have zero repercussions for just behaving in a way that's just... And here's the thing. This is just some idiot on the internet. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's $150. And like I said, I don't even really care about the money.
That's the principle.
I'm just sick of men. Like, bro, why don't you fucking talk to me about it? You know? Or write me. Or I don't know. It's cowardly. And that's how fucking all these men live their lives now. I can't do it much longer.
No.
Right?
It's ridiculous.
I can't fucking do it much longer.
It's absurd.
So, what do you got going on over there? We all just going to read our phones while we're podcasting?
Fuck yeah, dude. And fucking send it.
Go ahead. Now that you're an official podcast host too, I'm going to let you lead the dance today.
Yeah. So, yeah. Official podcast host. You know, we're out here, Guns Gis number 10. And it's always good getting the band back together, the boys back together. But more and more, I've realized since... going out to Utah and teaching for Fieldcraft now, working for Fieldcraft, and the more people I come in contact with, and I'm not saying anything disparagingly about these men or about these people. It's an ignorance, if you will. It's an ignorance, right?
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And I was giving a lecture the other night to one of these things. It's like we do like this thing called Friday Afternoon Club, and it's like $25. You pay $25, and you come for an hour and a half. And the topics vary every week, right?
And so are you kind of leading a discussion then, basically?
Yeah, more or less. And Mike started it off. He spoke with them for about 45 minutes-ish.
Okay.
To an hour, and then he asked me to step in and...
Are you going into it kind of blind and just seeing where the conversation goes, or is it kind of like a structured?
It's a structured speech. We not a structured speech, but a structured topic. If
Got it. Yeah.
And Mike asked a question. Recently he had a little reel on his Instagram page, and his question was, what would it take for you to use deadly force and take another human's life? What requirements need to be met for you,
Yeah.
right? And one of the guys at this lecture said, and this is not incorrect, but he goes, well, if I was in imminent fear of death or grave bodily injury, either myself or a loved one, I'll use deadly force.
And that's kind of your textbook
That's
legal
your textbook
answer.
legal jargon, right? And that is the truth. Imminent fear of death or grave bodily harm. So when I took over, I said, okay. I said, I don't disagree with you. Can anyone here explain to me what imminent is? And I don't mean like the actual like dictionary definition. Like we all know imminent means like right now.
Yeah.
But I stood in front of them like 10 feet away.
Is this
I
imminent?
said, is this imminent? Or is this imminent right now? And no one knew the answer.
That's because it depends on who's 10 feet in front of you.
Well, for sure. And then I stepped a little closer. I said, is this imminent? And then I walked back like 30 yards in the warehouse with I had like a plastic rifle. I said, is this imminent? What's imminent? I said, here's the thing. None of y'all know. None of y'all know what imminent is. Because how do you know what a gunfight or lethal force or a deadly force encounter is? How have you learned about that? Hollywood.
Yeah.
You've all learned about gunfights and fighting from Hollywood, and it's all fake. I said, so we don't know.
Heat.
Except Heat.
Heat was a good gunfight.
Well, and Predator, Rambo.
Yeah.
I mean, the documentary, The Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen and Michael Biehn, that was a documentary that was as true as it gets. But it was, nobody could answer it. No one could answer, like, what is imminent? I said, me right now. Like, me. What you know of me. I said, right now, are you in imminent danger of death or grave bodily harm? Well, no. I said, why not? Because you're like 10 feet from me and, I've got a gun on. I said, you better rethink your answer. I said, how quickly can you clear your shirt clear your shirt and draw your pistol from your concealed carry inside the waistband, and I'm only 10 feet from you, how quickly can I close that distance?
Well, here's another thing to think about, though. Imminent becomes what that means to me is there is now no going back. This is now happening. It's happening.
Yes.
It's going to happen now. Right. So if you're 10 feet away, they're probably not going to think of you as an imminent threat until you are running at them,
and that's too late.
Until you're ready to strike them, until you're shooting a shot.
Takes a time to take the decision, right? Takes a time frame to take the decision. Now I should, and this is something like people are scary and they need to take this. And I take this for me. It's like the way I feel is like this: if I have to use a gun, I don't gonna define my approach now, because I know I'm gonna be very stressed. Right, I'm gonna be in fear, of course, not only of the guy but the whole situation, right? And for me, my rule is like I'm gonna try not to use till I have to use, and it's gonna happen. And I don't know if it's gonna be legal the way I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna be in fear, I'm gonna be stressed, and I'm gonna defend myself.
Well, and that's the problem with all this, right? And the less you train this sort of stuff in like real training and stress inoculation, and the first time you ever have to actually like pull a trigger on someone, that decision can take too long. And it can cost you your life, And that's why we were talking like, what is imminent? Explain it to me.
Well, and let me say this too, because there's lots of us that have, quote, pulled a trigger on someone, right?
Yeah.
Fighting some fucking dude in the streets of Ramadi, everything's already established.
Yeah. The rules of engagement.
I'm out here fighting you. You're out here fighting me. There's not much to think about.
That's right.
It's just like when I was hunting whitetail last week. If I get a clear shot on a fucking buck, I take it. Yeah. Everything's already pre-thought out. Right. That's kind of what war is.
Right.
The decision-making process is kind of removed.
Right.
So I'm here to tell you right now, like, as someone that's never been involved in, like, a stateside shooting, both as a police officer or just as a civilian, like protecting my family, that's going to be a lot for me to think about too. In that
for sure, absolutely.
And it doesn't matter if you're a veteran. You've been in gunfights.
The environment
it's
changes,
so different.
Right?
Yeah, it's
because
so different.
If you are in a dangerous environment, you probably put your gun in your hand, right?
Yeah,
well, and you kind of
and you're ready.
When you're scanning around, ready to go, right?
But dude with the AK, pop.
Yeah, different than you are like coming out of your car in a parking lot, which is not dangerous.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You're walking to the grocery store.
Yes, right, and that's where basically shit gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Well, even like and Mike said it great to explain this. He's like, military guys, veterans, special operations guys, to a point, even cops, probably more so like SWAT cops that are there for a specific reason, already criminal intent and has been established. We're fighting an enemy.
That's right.
Right. There's a good guy and a bad guy.
Yep.
Whereas civilian self-defense, it can be two good guys. You get into an altercation, you get into an argument, and then one good guy pulls a gun and the other guy gets shot, or one guy pulls a gun, gets hit in the head, the other guy draws his gun and shoots him in self-defense. Now, who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy?
Let me say this, and I'm curious to see if you guys agree with me or not, but just sitting here now talking about it, because I carry a gun literally everywhere I go, and I don't really think of it as a self-defense tool for a physical altercation.
Me neither.
I never think about, like, what if I get in a fight?
No.
What if this guy punches me? Like, I honestly think, like, a dude could beat the fuck out of me, and I wouldn't even consider shooting him. I mean, if he smashed my head in with a rock, now we're. But I've been in plenty of dumb fights,
right.
and if I got in a dumb fight, and the dude just happened to be a little tougher than me, he doesn't deserve to die for that necessarily.
And probably he would, if he was tougher and a better fighter than you, he would issue mercy after that was established.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but what I think of the whole reason I carry concealed, for me personally, number one, active shooter.
Yes.
Right?
Hands down.
Because that's just a part of our society now.
Right.
And bro, we've had a couple that are kind of close to my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a real thing. Like, Marysville School had a fucking active shooter in it. And as the crow flies, it's like 4 miles from my house. There's been a couple other incidents, and it's like, you're not going to catch me on a day where I'm not ready to protect the citizens of my community.
For sure.
So that's why I carry. I don't even really think about like, oh, this guy might do this to me or might do that to me. I don't fucking care.
No, I don't. And the same thing. Like, I don't carry a gun for quote unquote self-defense.
Yeah.
Right? I carry a gun for essentially critical incidents. Or if I happen to be with my family and I'm caught in a situation where now somebody is threatening the life of my family.
Yeah,
whether
like,
directly or
you have your
indirectly.
family and there's like 3 guys.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, dudes.
That's what I'm saying. You know, it's like,
Get the fuck
look, the other day, we were sitting at a restaurant out by where we live near, where I live near in Utah. And it's like a biker restaurant bar, and they got a whole bunch of like old school like Harley Davidson models, like old, built around the place.
Is that where I was eating breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that place.
Yep. And so we're in there.
Sidecar Cafe.
In
Provo, Utah.
And the restaurant is called Strap Tank Brewery.
And they're both cool spots.
Yeah. So
check them out.
we're in Strap Tank Brewery in Springville. And there's a table full of Mongols sitting off in the corner. And I don't mean like play Mongols. I mean like real, legit, fucking 1%er, fucking outlaw bikers. Hard motherfuckers. Fucking big ass 8-inch fixed blades on their hips and stuff. A couple of them were carrying. I could see them printing a little bit. Like hard fucking dudes. These 2 guys get up and they're walking around the restaurant. And they're together, shoulder to shoulder, walking around the restaurant. And they go over to one of these old models and they're looking at the bike and admiring it and stuff. And they walk around and look at another one. And then they start walking over toward like kind of where we're sitting. And I'm sitting there with Lily. You can make a very easy assumption that I may be a cop or was a cop or, you know, something, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they split. And they're like, one's going on one side of the table, one's going to the back side of the table. And bro, I come out. I draw my pistol under the table. I pull my pistol out clandestinely.
Yeah.
I pull my pistol out and have it under the table, like thinking I'm about to get fucking ambushed by these 2 motherfuckers. Why else would they split?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and my kids are there, and everyone's there with me, and it was too close for me to be like, "Hey, Casey, go and get the kids out." You're like, you know, it was
happening right now.
It was happening right now.
It was imminent.
It was imminent. It was fucking truly imminent. And I'm like scanning, like, which one of these motherfuckers am I going to shoot first? Where their angle is in relation to me and my kids and all that stuff. And I knew where I was moving to draw fire away from the family, all that shit. And they were looking for the last bike.
I was I was just gonna say, you're fucking planning out the whole fucking battle drill.
Yeah.
And they're just admiring bikes.
Yeah.
And bro, I tell you what, like what I feel about, because I know a lot of bikers, right? I used to live in Temecula. One of my students were a Mongol. I have one of my black belts, which is like one. I love that guy, and he's one Hell's Angels.
Yeah.
Right.
I was gonna bring that up, but I wasn't gonna say his name.
And the thing here is this, bro. They're cool people.
For sure.
They're cool people. They're like us, bro.
And this is where it goes. You know? So check this out. This is where the story is going. So
Then you start talking to them.
But more or less.
Yeah.
So they like, it was just really weird. It was not standard. It was not standard body language or procedure for them to have been walking around together, looking at all these things, and then when they're coming up toward my table, they split.
Yeah.
To basically flank me, have a flanking element.
But that's because you understand fucking infantryman tactics and fucking angles and stuff like that.
Right.
Their brain, they're just
right
looking at motorcycles.
And they found the last one, and the guy's, "Oh, it's over here, bro." You know, and I'm like,
see, they were dividing and conquering just to cover more.
That's right.
Cover more ground, dude.
and like Casey never knew that I had the gun out.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Are you all right? Do we need to leave?" Thinking I was pissed at the waiter. She goes, "Do we need to leave? I know the food's taking a while." I'm like, "No, we're good. We're good." I told her afterwards, right? But as we're leaving,
that's why she's married to you.
Yeah, exactly. As we're leaving the same time they're leaving, so we're all walking out together. And obviously they're like, "Oh man, she's to Lily, like she's amazing," and we're chatting and bullshitting. And
she's
I'm like,
a good boy.
Yeah, she's a good boy, right? Yeah. And we're chatting, and like they hold one of the dudes holds the door open for the family, and then I hold the door open for some of their ladies and stuff. And we're like, "Man, nice weather. You guys be safe on the bikes. Hey, fuck yeah, dude." You know,
Yeah.
like,
So I mean, I was just gonna say, I mean, and Joao kind of already laid it out there, but a great friend of ours is a Hell's Angel. Great friend of ours.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not going to say his name because it's nobody's business. But at the end of the day, it's someone that I trust. I value his opinion, and we would die for each other. Like, that's the friendship that we have.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, bro, like, what's up with you joining the Hells Angels? I'm just curious, you know? And he goes, bro, that group of men has each other's backs, unlike I've found anywhere else.
Yeah.
He goes, even in jiu-jitsu. He's like, these people are here for each other.
Yeah.
And he goes, and they're cool.
And bro, because they have clear rules, and they have rules based on respect and honor. Right? Basically, if you have a problem with some of them, like within the group,
You have a problem. Yeah.
bro, straight up bare knuckle fight. Once the fight's done,
We're done. Problem's over.
Problem's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they have the set of rules inside, the guidelines inside their group, bro, that we don't see outside.
And bro, you know what's funny?
And that's exactly what you were speaking earlier, right?
Yeah.
Bro, this dude, he's behind the screen, and they can say whatever he wants for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, bro?
Yep.
And he doesn't have a problem because he's behind the screen, right?
Yeah.
And all the rules are made to protect him.
Protect
you know
him.
what I mean? Not protect you.
Instead,
you know what I mean?
instead of just being rules that are just
Just be
rooted
a man.
in reality.
Just be a man. You know what I mean? Just be a man, and I'm like, bro, that's it, right?
And bro, like it's funny for me because I used to be a Fed, right? And the Feds in Southern California have a long history of dealing with motorcycle gangs. And there's even, I mean, you know the stories, guys going into deep cover and stuff, and like, and there's one story in particular where an ATF agent became like a patched member
And was siding more with them than the ATF.
Yeah, and said like, bro, these people are more solid. But my point of bringing this up is I was kind of indoctrinated, or maybe just, again, going back to you don't know what you don't know. I was with the U.S. Marshals, and these motorcycle gangs are bad people, right?
Right.
But we're all just finding our gangs. My gang at the time just happened to be sanctioned by the U.S. government.
And probably more corrupt than the motorcycle guys.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know?
I'm part of a gang that's recognized as being allowed. Their gangs are bad, though, right?
Right.
But then knowing somebody that's on the inside of that, he's like, no, bro, it's not even about like the criminal enterprise. It's about cool motherfuckers in your life.
The camaraderie, the brotherhood.
Some of it's about the criminal enterprise.
Yeah,
Like,
bro, of course.
I mean, they have to make
all the meth in Utah is being run up by outlaw biker gangs
Yeah.
in the South. Yeah. They're running all the meth.
I should start running meth.
I mean, fuck it. You're already probably on every watch
Have you
list.
seen, have you seen this documentaries on Netflix about Big Pharma?
No.
They're selling drugs.
yeah.
They're selling
yeah.
drugs legally.
Bro.
And every time I see one of those movies, I look to my chick and I'm like, bro, let's sell drugs, bro. You know
They're
what I
the
mean?
most
Let's sell
corrupt.
drugs, bro.
Joao, that's actually a really, really great point because since the time we're little kids, when we go through the DARE program and it's like drugs are bad, these people are bad, the cartels, the motorcycle gangs, and you know who's fucking exactly right, dude? You know who's causing more addiction,
More damage to
more
society.
damage, destroying more families
legal
than
shit,
the
bro.
motorcycle gangs and the cartel put together? Is our fucking big pharmaceutical companies. And they're getting rich off of our dollars while they do it. And they're controlling all of our fucking public
And
officials.
the worst, bro.
You know?
And
like,
the
that's
worst, bro.
fuck, dude.
They are getting kids addicted on their shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
since,
of course.
Since sugar, right?
Yeah.
And if you see there's a cycle, right? There's a circle of life on this bullshit, right? They get your kid hooked on sugar, right? And then they get your kid hooked in drugs and then medication and this and that to the end of their lives, from the beginning to the end. You know what I mean? It's like,
Do you remember what the documentary was called?
bro, I think it's Big Pharma. There's the other one about this is the latest drug that's happening, fentanyl.
Fentanyl, yeah.
So there's one about Big Pharma, about the oxy shit, about the other one about fentanyl, and the last one is all about the vaping, bro.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers were getting kids addicted, just like the cigar industry used to do with adults, but now with kids, bro. Teenagers from 12, you know what I mean? And actually, I got my daughter doing that, you know, and then I have
You caught your daughter doing that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's vaping, it's legal. What's the problem, right?
Yeah.
And everybody doing it's cool. You know what I mean? And then thankfully, I managed to change her environment, right?
Yeah.
So she's now in Newport, no more in Huntington Beach. So she's now going around with the kids, with her friends that she used to do since like preschool, right? So she changed cities, and she changed because she's on the wrestling team. And now the people she goes around is the girls from the wrestling team.
So they're not vaping.
They're not vaping.
Yeah.
They're not taking drugs, because the other group, the early group, since she's preschool, bro, girls are alcoholic at 14. You know what I mean? Vaping left and right. You know, nicotine, fucking weed, everything. I'm not saying that. I mean, they're kids, bro. You know, if you're over 18, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't know.
No,
you know what I mean,
bro.
But they hook you up at 11, 12, bro. This is a big crime. You know what I mean? And two things that revolt me the most, bro, it's like enrage me badly, is like crime against animals and kids. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, it's fucking, and this drug thing, the big pharma, it's huge. You know what I mean? And dude, like you just say, the most damage is made by them.
Dude, they want to keep us all in this fat, weak, sick, dependent state.
Anxious.
And bro, what makes you more dependent than being a fucking addict? Because it's like, dude, I need this or I can't function. And then they have control over you.
And it's crazy because the more you take, at some point, your heart stops.
Yeah.
Or dying, you know? It's not just like giving the money, but they're literally dying.
Well, dude, and I've talked about it on the show plenty, where as a police officer in Seattle, you're dealing with addiction literally every shift. Yeah. Every shift, some type of crime or some type of interaction is rooted around a person being addicted to heroin or methamphetamine. And then every once in a while, you come across people that are actually cool as fuck.
Right, yeah. They had their normal lives.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I've told the story about the dude with the cauliflower ears. Yeah. We're kind of sizing each other up. Yeah. And then we're both like, dude, I said, we don't need to fight each other. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to fight you either. And then it was kind of like,
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Homeless, addicted to drugs, dude. Like, you look like a standout athlete. What's going on? And he was college wrestler, right?
Got injured.
And now
got prescribed, bro.
And now he's fucking on the streets of Seattle, and it's like, I always look at myself and say, that could never be me. I'm too strong for that. That could never be me. But could it be?
Bro, I said that until now, going on maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So my last surgery, when I got admitted ER, emergency surgery on my wrist, they kept me there for 3 days. They kept me in the hospital for 3 days on IV drips and making sure the infection was gone, all that shit. And I was in a ton of pain from the surgery. And so they were just whacking me with morphine and Dilaudid. Morphine wasn't even touching it. They'd give me morphine, wasn't even touching the pain. The Dilaudid, fuck, man, that shit's a miracle, right? And
what is it? Can you even describe what being high on Dilaudid feels like?
It's the only way I can like kind of describe it. It's like all those like movies about heroin junkies when they push the heroin and they just fall back into like a cloud of like nothingness. Like,
yeah,
like a hug,
from Mother Earth.
Yeah,
dude, I'm laying in this hospital bed hooked up to IVs and stuff and monitors on me, and I'm like groggy and a lot of pain. And I'd call the nurse, and they'd give me Dilaudid, and I'd be like super tense and like fucking irritable, and then all of a sudden, and it's like not a care in the world, dude. Nothing hurt, nothing, you know. And anyway, they did this for 3 days, bro. And then like I can't remember. I think it was Sunday morning. Yeah, I think it was Sunday morning. So, okay, you're good. You're discharged. Here's a bottle full of fucking Oxycontin. Fuck. Not even a mix. Like straight Oxys. Here's a fucking bottle full of Oxys with 2 refills or a refill or whatever it was. And you know me. And I've always said like, I'm not going to take medication for the pain. I'm just going to suck it up and deal with it. And like, I don't even like taking Advil and shit, you know? So I have this bottle full of Oxys, and I leave the hospital, and it's sore and whatnot, but I'm okay. And then as the day goes on, it's creeping up on me and creeping. It's more achy, and it's aching. I'm like, fuck, I can deal with the pain, right? So I don't take one for the whole first day. I'm in pain. I don't sleep great that night. The next day, I'm getting whacked with the flu hard.
Oh,
I'm getting sick.
You weren't getting the flu.
I wasn't getting the flu, bro. I was going through withdrawals.
Yeah, you're getting dope
So
sick.
I'm getting sick hard.
And bro,
sick.
you can get so dope sick you die.
Bro, I felt like I was fucking dying. Like I was like, this is the worst fucking flu ever. I've never felt this way in my life.
And you're a highly disciplined savage.
Yeah, you know? And
so imagine someone that's weaker than that going through that.
Yeah.
It's almost a done deal.
right, so what happened, I was like, well fuck, maybe if I take one of my pain meds, it'll help me. Because I'm in a lot of pain too. Bone aches, fever, chills, skin aches, everything.
After 3 days.
Bro,
dude.
after 3 days. For a fucking minor wrist surgery, really. It wasn't like anything major, you know? And so I take a half of an oxy. And I get a little relief. I'm like, okay. Well, I take another half. Well, next thing you know, fast forward a few weeks. And
whoa, few weeks.
oh, yeah, bro. Fast forward a few weeks. I'm not in pain anymore, really, from the surgery, my wrist. But I'm popping half of oxys and shit to just for my mood and keep me going. And then one day I ran out of refills. I ran out of pills.
Yeah, your bottle was fucking gone.
And I'm talking to a guy I know. He's like, I can get you some more. I'm like, cool, yeah, bro.
Fuck.
And he fucking brings me an unmarked bottle.
Dude, hey, none of the bells or whistles are going off
And
yet.
all of a sudden, no,
hey,
that's the problem. That's
okay.
the problem. It wasn't. That's the
It
problem.
just felt normal. It was prescribed by your doctor.
And then I was like, holy fuck. Wake up call, motherfucker. You just fucking bought fucking black market oxy
As a police officer.
from God knows where as a cop. And you're taking a half a pill
Just to do life.
or like before training just because it makes you happier. You're turning into a fucking pill junkie, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And I was like, it was a wake up call for me, and I fucking cut that shit out. But like, then I was like, holy fuck, I see how people can literally become addicts.
So when
that
you-
was like a minor
when you
surgery.
when you cut it out, did you have to go through a phase of dope sick?
Yeah, I got sick again, but
Damn.
now I knew what it was.
Yeah, now you knew what you were in for.
Now I knew what it was. I was like, fuck, I don't feel good, and it's because of that shit right there.
Yeah.
You know, so
Now your mind on it.
yeah.
And bro, you said like, bro, and a doctor gave you that, right? And bro, you know what? That doctor is being paid for the pharma industry to give you that because they have like numbers to hit. That money, you know what I mean? And if you see like sometimes, you know, this doctor is going on big trips over the world, driving big cars, this and that, bro, because the big pharma is giving him that in order for him to prescribe all the medication and fuck the people. You know what I mean?
And Big Pharma now also has like their hands in the literal doctrine and education that doctors get inside of medical school.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's real weird how all of a sudden human beings in the West just kind of started saying, hey, fuck Eastern medicine, which has thousands of years of application. And we're just going to go with this new wave of how we do things.
Well, I don't trust doctors because, I mean, won't even get into it, but the surgery was unnecessary.
Oh, really?
The surgery on my wrist was unnecessary. I was misdiagnosed. And rather than doing one more test, they could have done one more test and waited another hour or two.
Yeah.
To eliminate that possibility. They're like, no, fucking, you're going to surgery right now. Cut them. And so the surgery was unnecessary and fucked my wrist up even more.
Yeah.
And then they fucking put me on all this fucking pain meds and shit. You know, dude, it was fucked, bro.
Did I ever tell you that story about when Zach broke his arm? The pain meds they prescribed him?
No.
So I think this is an important story to tell because it kind of outlines some of the deficiencies in our medical system. He fell out of a tree and fucking fractured his humerus.
Yeah.
Pretty gnarly break.
Yeah.
And he goes to the hospital and they actually didn't cast it. They said hanging it in a sling is kind of like the new methodology of kind of allowing the body to heal itself while still being able to have some movement, right? Which is interesting. The doctor writes a prescription for pain meds, and Angie takes it to the pharmacy in Lake Stevens, and the pharmacist looks at it and just hands it back to her and goes, sorry, I can't fill that. And she goes, what? He's like, yeah, I'm not going to get into details on it, but I can't fill that. And Angie's like, that's a weird, I go to Walgreens all the time to get my prescriptions filled. And they didn't want to talk to her about it. Right? She goes to another pharmacy. Pharmacist says the same thing. Yeah, this is a prescription I'm not comfortable filling. Sorry. Won't talk to her about it, though.
They're all trying to protect each other.
So, why do you think that they wouldn't talk about it?
Because it would shine a spotlight on that doctor.
It would shine a spotlight on that
They're
doctor.
all trying to protect each other.
It's not that they want to protect each other. From what I understand is, if a pharmacy criticizes a physician, that's not good for your relationships. And then they might not use you know what I mean? It gets all weird, right? Then she goes to a third pharmacy, and the pharmacist is like a 75-year-old man.
Yeah.
So he's old enough, he doesn't give a fuck about the rules anymore, right? He says what he wants. And he looks at it, he goes, I'll fill that prescription for you, but if you give it to your boy, he'll be dead by morning. And she goes, what?
Holy shit.
He goes, yeah, look, this is, they clearly put the decimal in the wrong spot here. And I don't remember what it was, but just for like, speaking purposes, like, let's say he was supposed to have like 10.5 or whatever. They gave him like 100. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Like 100 point or 105.0.
Yeah, it was a massively overdosed.
Massively overdosed simply because a decimal point was in a wrong place.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, this prescription will kill your son.
So
you have two fucking pharmacists that see a prescription that would kill her son, and they're not willing to talk about it because they don't want to ruffle.
But so here's my other problem with this whole thing, right? Is if the pharmacist clearly knew that was a typo.
You think?
Why wouldn't they call the doctor up? Right?
Yeah.
The pharmacies and doctors call in prescriptions, pharmacies call doctors to verify, all this shit. Why wouldn't the pharmacist, ma'am, hold on one second, I think there's something wrong with the prescription. I'll be right back. Why wouldn't they fucking call the doctor and say, hey doc, I've got a prescription here.
Because I guess the culture is a pharmacist can't criticize a doctor.
Bro, that is so fucked, man.
Like, they went to all this school and you're just a fucking prescription filler. So then...
They could have been like, hey doctor, I think there's a mistake, a typo in the prescription.
So dude, I take a picture of it. And I text it to Sheely, who's my best friend and a physician. And he goes, what the fuck, dude? He goes, give me his doctor's name and number right now, and called her directly.
Yeah.
And he goes, listen, I don't want to talk to your boss. I'm not trying to fuck your career over. But this is a family friend that if the prescription was filled, he'd be dead now. You need to know what you just fucking did. Yeah. And they had a good conversation, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And to tell the truth, that's how it should be.
That's how it should be. But mistakes happen.
Yeah.
We're human. Mistakes happen. I fat finger shit on my phone and computer all the time.
Yep.
Like, if there's a mistake on something, you'd call me up and be like, hey, bro, it says this. Is this really what you meant? Oh, fuck. No, man. Okay, good. Let's fix it. But now we're talking life or death, especially of a child. Like, come on. That's the problem with everything nowadays is there's no accountability, and people are afraid to quote unquote criticize or correct other people. So we just let shit go.
Like, dude, if that first pharmacist lets her walk out of there because you're not comfortable having a conversation and a little boy dies, like, what the fuck, dude?
What if the pharmacist was having a bad day and didn't really read it over properly,
and just filled it. And they're covered.
Or was just a shitty ass pharmacist, last one in pharmacy school.
Yeah.
You know, I graduated with a D+.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like
that's a weird fucking place to be, though,
bro.
You know.
Well, you know, so Jackson, you know, broke his wrist, and he fractured a bone in his wrist. It's like a growth plate. And it's important to make sure that it's stabilized. And he did it, and he was complaining about his wrist a couple of days. But he's like doing stuff, being a boy. Like, whatever. My wrist hurts. My wrist hurts. And finally, I'm like, look, if his wrist hurts, and I told Casey, I was like, there's a lot of little bones in the wrist that if they do break, they don't get a lot of blood flow, and it could cause problems down the road, so go get it checked out. And the doctor took an x-ray. This is what we think's going on, but we're going to send you to a pediatric orthopedist, wrist specialist. So, and I was like, look, I said, don't just let the doctor be like, oh, we're going to put a brace. We're going to put a cast on. We're going to cast it. I said, like, I want to find out exactly what's going on. Like, I want to know everything.
Yeah.
Because I don't personally trust doctors all that much. There are great doctors out there,
and
but there are also
ones.
shitty doctors out there.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays, at least in my experience, the majority of the people that are supposed to be quote unquote subject matter experts and professionals nowadays are not. And they rely on the theorized lessons they've learned in school, which is, okay, we're going to go course of action A first. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, then we're going to go B. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, now we're going to go C. Rather than actually like using your fucking brain and past anecdotal evidence
or
to come to the best decision.
Or you show up and they're a fucking fat piece of shit.
That too.
And it's like, wait. You're supposed to be a specialist on healing the human body.
Right. And look at you. You're fucking disgusting.
Yeah, like fuck.
So I was like, I want all the information. If they're like, oh yeah, we're going to put a cast on it. No, like why? What's going on? What's wrong with his arm? What does a cast do for it? What happens if you don't cast? Like, I want to know everything. And fortunately, the orthopedist was really good. She was really, really good. And Jackson got a cast on it and training jiu-jitsu.
Did you get all your reasons as to why?
Yeah. Well, it's like everything was explained, Yeah, so he's got a cast, but I was like, I'm done. I don't care what your expertise is. Unless I know you personally and have that person, I'm done, like, quote unquote, blindly be like, oh, you're an expert in this. Okay, sure.
Well, like allowing somebody's title to give them validity.
Bro, I get 3 opinions every time, bro. Whenever somebody says, like, I need a surgery, I'm like, did you talk how many doctors? Oh, one. Yeah. But this is really good. Ask another 2. You know what I mean? Like,
one of my blue belts. Bro. One of my blue belts. You guys, Motorcycle Mike, right? He was, I think it was his, I can't remember if it was his knee or his shoulder. He's always injured, right? But it was either his knee or shoulder. And he went to a doctor, went to a specialist, and he comes in like hanging his head when he's like, yeah, they said I need surgery. I'm like, well, what's wrong? They just said I'd have to have surgery on it. I was like, dude, don't do anything. Because he was like getting ready to schedule and everything. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Don't do fucking anything. Stop. Go see my guy. Because my orthopedist here, my old orthopedist here, is a fucking rock star. And I've seen him for like 4 pretty serious injuries. And not one of them was like, no. He's like, you don't need surgery.
Yeah.
We're going to get through this another way.
Good, man.
And that's what he told him. He's like, no, you don't need surgery.
See, bro, and I had that happen to me where I had a doctor saying I needed knee replacement.
Yeah.
At 37. And I'm 43 now. So it's 6 years ago. And my knees feel fine.
Yeah.
And I did stem cells. I've talked about that. But it's strange to me that, like, if a doctor tells you something and it feels off in your intuition, that people want to give doctors this pass to just be able to tell you what's going to work, what's not going to work, how you need to live your life. If it feels off, you got to, like, no one knows your body better than you.
Well, again, and it goes back to this. What do I always tell the students when we're on the range with Guns Gis? About every technique and lesson I'm going to teach them.
Give me my headshots.
Dude, I want my headshots. No. I'm going to give you the why behind it.
Yeah.
Why do we utilize this technique? Why do we grip the pistol this way? Why do we do this with the sights? Why? Don't just take my advice because I'm standing up there in a fucking multicam gun belt and cool high-speed shit. You know,
nice hair.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just take my word because, like, ask the why. Why? And I don't care who it is. That should be your job, whether you're an instructor, a doctor, whatever. Like, why? Why am I casting your arm? Here's why I'm casting your arm. Why do you need surgery? Here's why you need surgery. Because in my experience, the other methods, you're too far gone for rehabilitation, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, give me the why. But no, people don't do that anymore. People just want the easy. Hey, give me a pill, cut on me, give me some pills, let me do my shit. My fucking Instagram and Grubhub account are open. I can sit on the couch and get food delivered to me and get fucking more fat and more disgusting.
And bro, it goes both ways too. Like being disgusted with doctors and the way some of them are behaving. And then if you're a doctor, they're disgusted with how their patients are behaving. And it's just because most people are non-performers now.
For sure.
I think I told you a story about my homie that was seeing a patient that was all diabetic. His legs were all swollen and shit. Did I ever tell you that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And he's like, hey, I know you want medication,
But what you need is a different diet.
What you need is to change your diet.
Yeah.
Because that's what's foundationally.
Didn't you get a complaint put on
and
because
the guy
of it?
complaining is I came in here because my diabetes was flaring up and I needed this. And he told me I needed to change my lifestyle. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, because you do, right? And when someone calls in with a frivolous fucking complaint like that, that should be the answer. Yeah, motherfucker, you do need to change your lifestyle. Because we're about to lop your fucking feet off.
Right.
But nope. Got to go to the board.
You can't tell them.
And you have to discuss the complaint that it came through. And then there are always these. One of the worst things that I hate is when higher ups are dismissive of something. Yeah. But we still, hey, I know this complaint seems kind of silly, but this is still this is protocol.
Fuck that.
What?
Yeah.
So you're just supporting a fucking broken system?
Yes.
Fuck you.
Because they're worried about their job.
Yeah.
I'm glad
everyone's worried about their job.
I'm glad the HR office at Fieldcraft Survival knows what they're in for, because bro, especially when me and Mike are teaching classes together, dude, it's pretty ruthless, dude.
Bro, I tell you what, like when I was down like Monday, bro, I taught this class and I was fucking grumpy, right? And bro, I was like, fuck this, fuck that, yeah, and this blah blah blah, and I see everybody doing wrong, and like, fuck, dude, it's like, everybody come in, bro, I explain, and bro, at the end of the class, I was like, bro, I lost some students, like for sure. You know what, bro? I had some people trying the class, they stayed, they signed up. And I have like some of students asking for privates,
Yeah.
So I was like, bro, I thought those losing students actually like, I amp up the vibe,
Yeah, bro. I try and never come down on adults hard.
No.
Unless it's obviously if it's something egregious, but that's almost outside of jujitsu.
Egregious or disrespectful, then I come down hard.
Yeah.
But if it's like I'm not getting the technique,
yeah,
I don't.
But what I've seen with kids,
no, but I'm not. I mean, the guy's like, I was just grumpy.
It's just gonna be that day.
And I guess the reason that I don't, because if you're an adult and you're fucking off, the only person's jujitsu that's going to suffer is yours, and that's not my problem. That's your problem.
Yeah.
But with kids, when you got one kid fucking off, bro, it's like it's fucking contagious.
Yeah. Well, that's different because that's like. We're parenting them.
No, for sure.
There's part
and
of
so,
like,
when I see kids not doing stuff, I get pissed off.
Yeah. Oh, I did.
And bro, like gray belts. We were working scissor sweeps the other day, and some of my gray belts were like shrimping backwards into it, and it's like, what the fuck are you like?
Right.
Everybody circle up.
Yeah.
If you have a gray belt on. And you mess up the scissor sweep when you're partnered up with a white belt, we have a problem.
Yeah.
And it's not because you don't know the scissor sweep. It's because you're screwing around.
You're not paying attention. Right.
Yeah. And, dude, it usually fucking sucks the vibe back together. It's all good.
Yeah.
But again, it's a different dynamic with kids.
No, for sure. It's like I told you the night I made my son and then like 3 or 4 other of the oldest, highest ranking kids run the entire class.
Yeah.
The whole class.
Yeah.
They were goofing off and being a little disrespectful and goofy, like within the first 10 minutes. And I pulled them aside and said, What is this? You guys are the leaders. All these younger kids, all these white belts look up to you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are wearing gray and black belts and yellow belts. And I'm like, what is this? You guys are going to run the rest of class. Bro, they ran the rest of class. And like Casey was like, when are you going to let them stop? I said, when class is over.
In 1 hour.
When class is over, they can stop. And I taught the rest of the class while they were running laps around the mat.
You know what's funny too? You think an hour of running just sounds insane. That was 7th grade wrestling practice. Yeah, little boys can go run for an hour.
Yeah, they weren't sprinting.
Yeah,
there was no hills.
Yeah.
They were in fucking climate-controlled AC fucking
running circles around the mat.
Like, it's not like it was some like, like horrible punishment.
Yeah, the mat's
like,
big, It's not like monotonous,
But like, there had to be a high-level penalty for that because they are the leaders of the class. And it's not like they didn't know. There's an organized, established, like, code of conduct.
Of course.
And I was like, wait, you guys are the oldest, most experienced kids here. If anybody knows, you guys know.
Yeah.
So there's a higher penalty. Go run.
Dude, I got this kid, him and his brother signed up, and they're both savages.
Yeah.
Right? Great kids. Super respectful to me. Always call me professor. Asking the right questions. And they're both gray belts now, and they're both beating like most of the other kids. And then I'm talking to my daughter, and I'm not going to say their name, but all the girls, you know, Siler and Maya and Cadence, all like my little gray belt, my female gray belt mafia.
Yeah.
They're like, every time we roll with him, they just talk shit to us the entire roll. I said, what? He goes, yeah, they talk mad shit during the roll. Like, but they don't let you see it. And I said, you know what? Good for them. I said, you know what? I've been their professor for a year, and I didn't know that they're talking shit. And I was like, that's just little boy shit. I'm okay with it. I'm not even going to address it, dude.
No.
Like, you play the game so well that I don't even know.
Roger that. Just don't let me catch you.
Yeah. But the thing is also the shit they're talking, it's not like they're not being mean and disrespectful. It's kind of like a Nate Diaz talking shit during the match. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of digging in a little bit.
No, absolutely, yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? It kind of makes me like him a little more.
That's funny, man. That's crazy.
Bro, you start to see, and especially in my gym, and I don't know if it's the case here, but our public school system are fucked in Washington State.
Yeah.
So a lot of our students are also either homeschooled or go to private schools.
Yeah.
And if you're in one of those two environments, your social network is greatly diminished.
For sure.
Because public school is a good opportunity to
socialize.
Jump into society.
Yeah.
You know? And so our jiu-jitsu academy has become kind of a lot of the kids' social network.
For sure. That's how it is with my kids, too.
And it's cool to see.
It is cool. And it's also, I don't know, it's a social network where it's a little bit more relaxed and they can blow off some steam, you know? So it's like in school, half the shit they do in here in the mats, like the 5-10 minutes before kids' class, they'd never be able to do that in the playground at school.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like,
what's your rules? Do you have rules?
I do, bro.
These are my rules.
I was having agita when I was up at your academy watching the kids run around before practice.
So, bro, the gym opens at 4:30. Practice starts at 5. They can play ball. They can wrestle. They can fuck off. I don't care, but I don't want them submitting each other. I said I don't want to see chokes. I don't want to see arm bars when a coach isn't on the mat.
Yeah.
But outside of that, fuck around. But that's too much for you, huh?
Oh, dude, I was like, and there was like one
angry Greg.
There was like, oh, dude, I was like, yeah. There was like one little kid that I think he doesn't train, but he's a little brother of an older brother that does train, and the older brother was whipping his little brother around the mat like fucking rough, dude. And I'm sitting there like, bro, fucking.
So my kids playing on the mat and Rachel Anderson's bracelet. Those are the two things you change about electric jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's funny, dude. We kind of, how we're having some of this conversation, we're built for certain things. Physically and emotionally, we're built for certain things. My chick's going to fall off the couch. And so this past week up at Fieldcraft HQ, it was like Kids Week. And they were doing a bunch of media and training and camping with the kids.
What does that mean? What does Kids Week kind of entail?
So it was really all the employees brought their kids in.
Okay.
They're all roughly around the same age. And they spent like a week there doing stuff. And we filmed some kid jiu-jitsu content for a couple shows and the app and stuff. And look, all good kids. Like good parents, all parents that work for Fieldcraft, you know, it's like they're the right kind of parents and right kind of parenting, and they're all good kids. But nonetheless, they're still kids.
Yeah.
They're still 7, 8, 6, 9, and they're still kids. And I don't have the
10-5.
10-5, yeah, exactly. You know, and I don't have the utmost amount of patience for kids, including my own. But like, I'm a certain type of dad. I'm not fun dad. Go do whatever the fuck you want. I'm like, we're going to learn a lesson, Dad, you know? And, like, there were a couple of times where I was like, hey, all the kids round up on me now. And like, I don't even know their names, nothing. I don't know who belongs to who. I'm like, look at this. Does this look appropriate? Does this look appropriate? You know, is this something that we would do?
Somebody's knocking. Someone's knocking and interrupting the middle of the podcast. No, you're not sorry because you just took Lapin out of the room. But, you know, one thing Lapin said he wanted to talk about this trip or this podcast was that we thrive in chaos, right?
Right.
Men need something in their life that is causing chaos. And I was like,
problems to solve, man.
But bro, then let the little kids run around and be crazy.
But that's the problem. Then it's solved.
Yeah. Fuck, man. But no, I think that's going to be an interesting topic to kind of dive down because, bro, we've been homies for 10 years now.
Right.
And we got so high last night that we went to the moon.
Right.
And what do? We talked about all these things in our life, and a lot of it's kind of chaotic.
It's
and we always find ourselves here.
There's no peace, you know, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like even like when good things happen, right? What's next? It might be something bad. You know what I mean? So you're in this constant search for happiness and peace, right, bro? Because things keep happening, right? Like today everything was fine, and then this dude disrupt your peace, right, bro?
Yeah, the Turo guy just disrupted my peace. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? And then, bro, now we're here. Is everything fine? You know what I mean? And who knows what's next, right, bro?
Bro, it's real weird because I was like, you know the feeling you get coursing through your veins when you want to fight somebody?
Yeah.
That's what I was feeling. And it's like, it's some idiot over a fucking text message on the other side of the country. And I still allow that feeling to come into me.
Right.
Maybe we don't have control over it or not.
I mean,
you know? And now here we are, 3 hours or two, not even that, maybe 2 hours later. I don't even care.
Right.
You know?
Right.
At all, dude. I don't give a fuck now. Yeah. Dude, tell the story that you told me last night of the guy that built the horse corral.
Oh, bro. So this is a story I was talking to the other day with a friend. And we were talking live, right? And this is like how things happen, right, man? It's like I hate the ask why. You know what I mean? Like, why with me, right? And like, why this happen? It happens because it happens, right? So you're talking about this type of stuff. And she comes to me and says, like, do you know the farmer story? I'm like, no. So tell me. She goes like, well, so there is this farmer, right, back in the day. And he's there taking care of his shit. And this storm comes in and destroy his cellar, right? So the horses run away. And the neighbors come and say like, hey, that's bad. And the farmer goes like, yeah, good or bad, right? How to know? And then next thing he sees, and then on a storm, not only the cellar goes down, but his horses leave, right? 5 days later, the horses come back. And not only that, but they bring back like 10 wild horses together, right? And the neighbor goes to the farmer and says, bro, that's good. Yeah. And the farmer goes like, yeah, good or bad? How do you know, right? And then next 5 days later, the farmer's son is like trying to tame one of the wild horses, and he falls and breaks the leg. And the farmer's neighbor comes back. He's like, hey, man, that's bad. And the farmer goes, good or bad? How do you know, right? And there were war times. The army was around, right, recruiting all the young men. And when they get there at his farm, they cannot enlist his son, and they leave, right? Because the kid has a broken leg. And
can't go to war.
Yeah. And then the farmer's neighbor comes back and is like, bro, that's good. And the farmer goes like, good or bad? How to know? Right, bro? So one thing brings the other, right, bro? Even the good things and the bad things, if you see, they are all like linked somehow, right? And I think the beauty of this is the way you deal with the shit, right? And like you say, it's like you cannot control the emotions you go through, right? They happen. They're like birds. They fly over your head, you don't control.
Yeah.
But I think the beauty of it is the way you handle, right, bro? Like you did, you're like, all right, let's, you hang out with your dudes, and then it's like you have things to do, and then you smoke a joint here,
take a shot of whiskey,
take a shot of whiskey there, and now you don't even think about it, you don't even remember, you're not even close to how you were feeling like a couple hours ago. You know what I mean?
Good or bad?
Good or bad? How do you know?
How do you know,
bro? I had a similar situation.
Who just interrupted our podcast?
It was Arden.
Okay, tell Arden we have a fucking bone to pick.
You're dead now. You're dead now. So I had I'm not going to mention any names, but someone made a post on their open Facebook page, and it said, Shoy Roll does these collab gis, right?
Right.
And like with We Defy and New Stefan and all that stuff. And the post was, these gis sell on eBay for like tons of money. Tons of money. And there's a picture of a brand new one. What would you do if someone told you they were a veteran and you wanted to give them this gi, this special edition gi, and you found out that they're not a veteran? What would you do?
So wait, someone wants a gi.
Someone has this gi.
And they acquired it by claiming veteran status.
No, this person gave this person that gi because they claimed veteran status.
And now they found out they were lying.
Yes. What would you do? And I start getting text messages early in the morning. Hey, have you seen this post? Hey, have you seen this post? I said, no. And I look at the post and I go, wow, it's cool. I mean, that sucks. Whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm reading the comments. And then one of the comments is from like a student of this person talking shit about me.
What?
How did you get wrapped into it?
Just wait.
Okay.
Just wait.
Okay.
I'm wondering the same thing, right? I'm wondering the same thing. And so I'm like, this motherfucker talking shit about me. Post isn't even about me. And you're fucking talking shit about me. And then the comment wasn't removed. The comment wasn't rebuked. Nothing. So I call up the professor. I say, hey, bro, how's it going? Yeah, I said, I started getting some texts this morning about this post, and I don't even know if you saw the comment yet, but I said one of your students is talking shit about me on the thread. And I just want to let you know, because if any of my students ever were talking shit about a local black belt, I'd be like, remove that shit right the fuck now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what our beef is with them, right? Like,
we're better than that,
right? And I was like, because clearly the post isn't about me. He goes, oh, it is about you. I'm like, what? Wait, what? Are we like, are you fucking with me? Is this like April Fool's? What? So 3-4 years ago, bro, check this out. 3-4 years ago, I was given a used, because it had the team heat press on the back, all peeling and tattered. So it had been used, and the individual that was using it didn't fit in it anymore, and it was given to me because he knows I'm involved with those organizations.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was a no.
It was a Shoy Roll, New Stefan.
Okay.
Like We Defy collab.
Got it.
Right. And it ended up eventually not fitting me. I grew out, like I got bigger than it, and I gave it to one of my guys who was an active duty SEAL. But he made this big post like 4 years later. Woke up that morning and decided this is what I'm going to do, and he was talking shit about me
because you never were in the military,
but saying that I was lying about my background. But so going good or bad, we'll see, right? So I'm livid, bro. You know where I'm at.
Of course.
Right? You know where I'm at.
Of course.
Right? And
because you're like, bro, I've known you a long time. You never lie about your background.
Bro, never. One of the first things I like come out and say right away.
Yeah.
Like, people assume because they see my Instagram and I'm in camis and multicam and all the same gear.
Deployed to Iraq for years.
In Iraq, right?
On the same teams I was on.
Right. They assume because of their lack of knowledge and their lack of questioning that that's the military.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, so, anyway. So, like, good or bad, we'll see. Right? Because I was fucking livid. I'm like, this is bad. I'm going to, you know, like, and, but fast forward, a bunch of people who I know, who I consider good friends, were commenting on that post. Like, man, that's fucked up. I'd ask for the gi back. I can't believe someone would do that, all this stuff. And once I found out, I'm like, bro, you know who he's talking about? He's talking about me. They're like, what? No fucking way. Yeah, dude. So it like brought that individual to light.
Yeah.
Big time. And then people started like really fucking coming to my back. Like once they realized that the post was talking about me, and then the post got deleted. But it brought that individual to light big time.
Good or bad, we'll see.
Good or bad, we'll see.
Bro, like, oh, fuck. I don't want to continue living in this world.
I was a door gunner on the spaceship in Space Force. That's what I did. Yeah.
But like, something's got to give. Something's got to give soon, man. Because we can't just continue to go down this fucking this path where men are just becoming weaker and weaker and weaker and more passive aggressive. And bro, we're fucking talking about some guy that wrote a paragraph about you after 4 years because he thought that was, like you said, he woke up that day and thought this is necessary.
Yeah.
You know, I just heard that Greg Lapin wasn't in the Army. But fuck.
If you just heard this, you're living under a rock. Yeah. You know, it's like, but hey, bro, but what, I mean, it doesn't matter. Mindset is everything.
Dude, how long do you think we've been recording?
50 minutes.
Hour and 7 minutes.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So, I'm traveling. We're fucking doing Guns Gis. I'm gonna keep these episodes a little shorter, so I'm thinking just like probably 90 minutes. But when you got pulled out of the studio mid podcast,
yeah,
me and Joao were touching on that the topic that you really wanted to jump into today is like there's something about being inside of chaos that calls to us.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And when you don't have it, something feels off.
Well, I think more importantly, something feeling off, we create it.
Well, that's why we create it.
Right. When we don't have it.
Like when my life is too normal.
Yeah.
I got to start pushing the boundaries a little bit here or there. And sometimes you're unreasonable.
Yes.
In our behaviors.
Yes.
But it's because normal sucks, dude.
Yes.
And never in the history of mankind have we lived a life that's safe and normal. The day-to-day activities of being a fucking man involve fighting, hunting, fucking, seizing land, exploring, going on adventures.
Yeah.
Like fucking Christopher Columbus. Can you imagine just getting in a wooden boat and saying, let's go that way until we either run out of food,
fall off the flat earth,
fall off the flat earth, or find a new continent.
Yeah.
That's what men used to get to do.
Yeah.
Now I have to argue with faggots over a $150 dispute on Turo. That's not what we're supposed to be doing.
Now we jump in our giant SUV and we explore to the Starbucks drive-thru to see if they're going to fuck up our venti fucking whatever. I don't drink Starbucks. I don't fucking know.
Your venti caramel macchiato.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. And like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. And I think that's part of why guys who do come back from war, law enforcement guys as well, you know, they have a hard time transitioning either out of law enforcement. How many guys do you know and do I know that have gotten out of law enforcement because they're sick and tired of the bureaucratic bullshit and not getting paid for their job, and they go get another job doing something, making way more money, and in 6 months they're back in a different agency doing law enforcement.
Yeah.
Again. You know, same thing. The assimilation from guys coming home from war and stuff and getting out of the military. Man, there's something about us that crave and require a little bit of chaos in our lives, just a little bit. And like, I don't know. I'm honestly, part of this move for me was I need to insert some chaos again.
You were settling in, getting too comfortable.
Dude, settling in, getting too comfortable. And like I said, like I love my academy and my students here, and I loved my team and the guys on the team, but I was comfortable. And the gym kind of ran itself. And
things were getting too easy.
It was too easy. It was too stagnant. It was too comfortable. And comfort's a slow death, man. And like, I started, well, for me anyway, when I have a lack of chaos in my life, I insert chaos in my life by becoming self-destructive.
Yeah, especially within your relationships. And I'm speaking about me, not about you.
Well, I mean, saying, like, I start to become self-destructive.
The women in your life feel the chaos faster than probably anybody.
That, and like just even me personally, like alcohol and shit like that, like taking unnecessary risks, like fuck it, I'm going first. Hey, we're doing this. Hey, fuck that, like whatever. I've thrown my own safety to the wind. I've thrown my safety to the wind, So then you start doing kind of stupid, unreasonable stuff, and it's like, whoa, all right. So I need some more chaos in my life. I'm not like, I've gotten too comfortable. The fucking Leave It to Beaver neighborhood and the white picket fence ain't suiting me.
Bro, I'm kind of there too. I mean, we were talking about off air. Like for the first time ever, my academy is financially viable. It's supporting my family. Everything is good. And it's too good.
I know. Why can't we just be happy?
No, bro.
No, we're not. We're never.
I'm like, you know what? I got to get my sailboat and disappear.
Yeah.
And I think I'm on a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Rachel Anderson was like, I'm not going to be a black belt by then. You can't go. I want to be your first female black belt, which I got a kick out of that. But I'll just start promoting remotely from my boat. I'll just start an online jiu-jitsu curriculum and start giving black belts out from the middle of the fucking Indian Ocean.
There you go.
Henry Gracie. But, no, bro, but also, when in the history of the world was life 70 years of the same thing?
Right. It was not.
It's not supposed to be.
No,
dude.
it's not.
So, like,
for us, it'll only be 63 years.
Yeah.
Because we're fucking cashing out in 17 years or whatnot.
I don't want to be an old, weak motherfucker, dude.
No.
Like, if we talked about last time, if you get injured and there's a path to getting healthy again, then I'll be on a walker, right? But if I'm on the downhill path, hey, I'm on a walker, and then the next step is a wheelchair, and then you're dead, what do I want to be in a fucking walker for?
Well, for sure, 100%.
It seems fucking silly, dude.
When the viability of a decent life has slipped past us, fucking out. Fucking out.
Yeah,
like, even right now. Like, if I got so catastrophically injured where I'm like, fucking take me out, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking use me for target practice. Give me one good headshot with your fucking 308, dude. Fucking put me out of my fucking misery.
You just can't kill yourself. Because if you do, it puts you in out of karmic alignment. And then when you get reincarnated, you come back more fucked up, not less fucked up. Joao taught me that last night.
Really?
So
you can fuck up as much as you want in life, bro. Just don't kill yourself. Because that's the only bad thing, cosmically talking. It's the only bad thing. Like your spirit pay when you kill yourself. And everything and whatever else you do, even self-destruction, it comes for good. It comes for a lesson.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
So you grow with that. But killing yourself is trying to cheat the game.
For sure, it's finalized.
The cosmic realm get you to pay that.
Well, if I ever get that fucked up and I'm telling you guys you need to kill me, just fucking do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Right.
Well, bro, what did I tell you in the car earlier today?
Yeah,
I said I'm done trying to talk. I've lost 6 teammates to suicide, and I have another friend that's currently in a bad spot. And we sat down. And I literally said to him, like, bro, I'm not going to try and talk people out of killing themselves anymore. Yeah. That's not me anymore. And I know everybody listening probably thinks that sounds crazy.
No, but the way you justified it makes total sense.
Yeah, I said, dude, if you're at the end of your fucking rope and you just don't want to live in the pain that you're feeling, who the fuck am I to tell you what the next phase of your existence needs to be or not to be?
Right.
I said, Now I can talk to you about
maybe what is the source of your pain. Is there something we can do to change it?
Yeah, exactly.
And improve your life.
Maybe we can talk about some things to make you feel better, and then you won't feel those feelings. And I'd like to have that conversation with you.
Right.
But if after we have that conversation, if you say, you know what, I'm still fucking unwilling to live, I ain't here to try and fucking change everybody's mind anymore. And I'll tell you why I came to that realization is because, and I don't know how many homies you've had kill themselves, but I'm sure it's
more than I can count.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fucking plenty.
Yeah.
When it's new and you feel that for the first time, you start playing the coulda, shoulda, woulda game. Mm-hmm. And then I had one in particular that haunted me a little bit because I talked him off the ledge a couple times, and we got closer through that process.
Yeah.
And then you know how homies are. Like, you and I will talk every day for a week, and then I might not talk to you for 2 months.
Yeah.
That's just fucking, that's how grown men, we're busy. We're living lives. And I didn't talk to this guy for a couple months, and then he shot himself. And I was like, you know what, dude? I'm not going to allow my friends' decisions anymore to affect me negatively. Like, if you're at a place where you just can't do this anymore, right. And I talked, and again, I talked to him about it extensively. Yeah. And I thought he was in a good place. And then initially I started thinking like, fuck, man, I could have called him.
What if I did this? Or what if I did that?
You know what? I hadn't checked in with Jordan in a couple weeks. Like, those thoughts started coming through my head. And then I realized, dude, the only motherfucker I'm responsible for is me.
That's right.
And if you're a friend and I care about you and we can have that conversation to try and change your life for the better, that's what friendship's for. Right. But if you've already pulled that trigger and it's finalized and it's a done deal and you want to play coulda, shoulda, wouldas, trust me when I'm telling you, it's a waste of your time and it's a waste of your energy.
Yeah.
That person made that decision and you just got to say, you know what, I'm at peace with that decision because they made it and it was theirs to make.
And that was their decision and it has nothing to do with you.
It was theirs to fucking make, man.
That's right.
And
trust me, he did not kill himself because, man, Greg hasn't called me in a month.
That's exactly
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So. You know? And so, no, I thought that was a good thing to bring up because, like, this podcast has a big veterans community following. So I bet every listener's probably had a buddy or two that has done the same thing.
Right.
Because it is that's the real pandemic.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's the real pandemic. And, but let's just, if you want to fucking change it, try and change it for the people that are currently to your left and your right still.
Yeah.
But crying over spilt milk, man, they made their decision.
No.
And now, so, and part of that kind of put me at peace with that thought process. And that's when I told my homie a couple weekends ago, I'm like, if you want to make that decision, give me one conversation.
Yeah.
And after that, if you still want to, I'll shake your hand and say, enjoy moving on to the next phase of existence, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see you on the other side. I ain't going to fucking cry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, but you're absolutely right. And I've talked to buddies the same way, and I never really thought about it put that way, like you put it. But like all the conversations I've had with buddies, it's never been, hey, dude, don't do it. Don't kill yourself. You've got too much to live for. Blah. I've never said any of that shit to buddies. It's always been, well, dude, talk to me. Like, what's bothering you?
Yeah.
Why do you want to do this? Okay, what can we fix? It's all about like finding the root cause of why you don't want to be here anymore, and then let's improve your life.
Yeah.
Okay, if that didn't work and you still want to fucking take yourself out, hey, roger that. You know, like that's your decision. But
and it's still a bad decision to make. Don't get me wrong. But the other side is I've been there too, right?
I was just gonna say. I mean, is it a bad decision? I mean, you hurt people by doing it.
Well, the one thing that you do when you're suicidal, because I've been there myself. And we've probably all been there as men. I think most men arrive at that place at some point in their life, right?
I mean, I think especially men that
are wild, passionate animals.
Yeah.
But one thing that you tell yourself when you're trying to convince yourself to not exist anymore is that everybody would be better off without you.
I've said the very words to myself.
So I think about, well, what... And when I was fucking, like, literally... in that mind space, I was flat broke.
Yeah.
I was 35 years old, in debt up to my eyeballs. And you know, one of the things I used to justify it in my head, I was like, bro, you're fucking broke. Like, if you kill yourself, your wife will find a new man and actually be able to provide for this family the way they deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even go to the grocery store and buy food right now without borrowing money from someone. Your girls don't need that. What are you doing that they need?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
They don't need you. And then it's like, okay, check. My girls don't need me. Well, what about my wife? Then you come up with a reason why she doesn't need you.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, all right, so she'll be better off too. And you start doing this.
Bro, I've had the same conversation with
But
myself.
you know the one that got me was mom.
Yeah.
Try and justify that. Try and have mom get that phone call and then have a better outcome because you decided to do that. And it was haunting me, bro. I was like,
my head didn't go there. I didn't even think about my parents.
My head went there. That's what fucking kind of pulled me out of it, because it's like, you got to fight for that woman no matter how much pain you're in.
Yeah.
You suck it up to make sure she doesn't feel that pain.
Yeah.
Because, bro, you're like, think about that. Like, losing a child is one thing. Like, I can't even fathom what that would feel like.
Yeah.
But losing a child to their own hands, fuck, dude. That's dark shit.
Yeah.
And that woman would be haunted for the rest of her days from that.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
You know? So if you're suicidal and you're listening, don't do that to your fucking mom.
Yeah, think about mom.
Suck it up. Feel the pain until you can figure your way out. And then fucking that's life, dude.
Yeah, that is life.
Good or bad?
Good or bad, we'll see.
We'll see, dude. Right.
Good or bad, we'll see.
But the other side of it is, life's supposed to feel like shit sometimes.
Well, you got to endure the shit for the fucking...
You know?
The sun's got to set for it to rise.
And it's it's cool that we talk about microdosing adversity. We talk about, like, putting hard stuff in front of us. Oh, I'm going to get into the ice tub. I'm going to do hard rounds with guys that are really tough tonight. I'm going to go on this run. Or even me, like, fucking, dude, people can say whatever they want about tree stand hunting.
Yeah.
Bro, I tracked a deer for 2 miles 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Through the gnarliest terrain ever. And it absolutely kicked my dick into the dirt.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
Yeah,
because
sure.
I like that feeling. When my heart's about to beat out of my chest and I can't fucking breathe and you feel fucking alive. I've been there enough that I kind of crave that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was with the owner of the property, and we actually lost this deer. We tracked the blood for 2 miles and then we lost it. And he goes, there's an easy route back to the cabin. From where we're at right now, my property, there's an easy route back to the cabin. And then there's a real fucking hard route. And he goes, and one of the rules we follow here at deer camp is if you lose a deer, you do the walk of shame on the hard path.
Roger
we don't
this.
get the easy path home tonight. And I was like, show me the hardest fucking route on the property. And then hammered it, right? And it was fucking, it was good too, because there was emotions of losing a deer.
For sure.
Didn't feel good to me.
No, for sure.
I injured an animal and I couldn't find it, bro.
Yeah,
That's
I get it.
fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
But that's also part of hunting.
Yes.
You know? And so, but the whole reason I bring this up is we put all this adversity in front of ourselves, but there's still going to be the adversity that we don't have any say in or any control in.
Right.
Problems with your women, problems with your professional relationships, problems with your income. That's the kind of stuff. It's like, hey, let's microdose adversity and not pay our bills for 6 months and make our credit take a hit.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
no one's doing that.
Yeah.
But that shit happens in life.
Right. That's hard to deal with.
And there's just no way around that. If you're changing careers, opening businesses, moving around the country, like you're doing these different things to strategically trying to position yourself in a manner in which you're going to win, you're gonna fucking call the shots wrong sometimes.
Well, and then sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah.
You know, like
You couldn't foresee something or whatever.
And shit just happens. You know, and it's like if you can't control it, okay, well now what do? You got to try to do what you can to mitigate it after the fact. Like it is what it is. You know, fucking whether it's a natural disaster or fucking your house gets broken into and all your shit gets, like, whatever it is, you know, it's like shit happens sometimes.
Oh fuck, dude! It's funny you say that, because I've been trying to really be in better control of my emotions on stuff like that. Because the truth is, if a hurricane hits your house and your house is gone now, okay,
Right. You're not going to find the hurricane and beat it up.
there's nothing to be done.
There's nothing to be done. It's like, okay, we rebuild.
Other than rebuilding,
That's it,
right?
we rebuild.
You shouldn't feel any fucking negative emotions from that kind of stuff.
Not really.
You You can cough into the microphone.
Fuck, bro.
Joao just plugged his nose to try and not cough.
And it made it worse.
Yeah, I don't want you to blow your lungs up, bro. We got a busy weekend coming up. What the fuck was I just saying before Joao started?
Losing your house to a hurricane and shit like that.
Yeah, and it's funny because sometimes shit will happen, and I feel like, dude, I'm like fucking Mother Teresa. I'm like the fucking Buddha. Like, I am so dialed in with my emotions that you can't. I'm unwavering. And then other times I get an email from a Turo driver that makes me want to fly to Minneapolis and cut somebody's head off. It's like,
yeah,
fucking try and find some balance, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. It's hard. Like, I don't know. Natural disasters. Who are you going to get mad at? Like, it sucks. You lost all your possessions. Okay, that sucks.
Yeah.
You lost prized family, stuff that had sentimental value, pictures, whatever. Okay, that sucks. Like, who are you going to get mad at? But, like, some fucking beta piece of shit.
I love it when Lapin justifies my outrageous behavior. Because even when I came in and I was like, I sat out in the car for 15 minutes or whatever, just kind of dealing with it, talking with the guy back and forth. And I came in, and instead of being like, hey,
bro, calm down.
Bro, we got a great weekend coming up. You don't gotta worry about that. You're like, hey,
I got a plan.
We could do this. I was like, that's right, dude. We could do. Fuck.
Bro, you're talking to a guy who's actually like scouted fucking firing lanes and ranged certain things on people's property. So,
does that guy teach karate?
No.
So we're an hour and a half. Did you want to? On the notes, you said you wanted to touch on the warrior mindset.
Oh yeah.
Let's touch on that, and then let's wrap this up early because we got a lot of shit to do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we were talking obviously, and it's like this came up a couple classes ago, but you see all these phrases and all these T-shirts and fucking mindset is everything and warrior mindset. You hear these terms thrown around, and I told a group of guys the other day. They all came out, and they're all like, they're all at a training course trying to learn to be better, but they're all like.
So they're paying to be there, and you started berating them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect, yeah.
But they're all like, you just look around, like, in our industry, and they're pseudo-tough guys, and they're all wearing the same clothes that signify, and the shirts, and the patches on their bags, and the Molon Labe, and all the,
Yeah.
Everyone has a Spartan helmet on their truck nowadays, or all this shit. And I asked the question, I said... Because I heard one of the students said the term "mindset is everything."
Oh, I see what sets you off now.
Yeah. And I said, is it? I said, is mindset everything? Yeah. I said, all right. Your mindset. Do you think you can beat me in a fight? Well, no. Okay, so mindset ain't shit if you don't have the capability or skill.
Yeah.
Right? Mindset. You can mindset the fuck out of wanting to beat me up, but you're not going to.
Yeah.
And I said, who here has a warrior mindset? Who here thinks and claims they have a warrior mindset? And be honest. And nobody raised their hand at first. I'm like, come on, motherfuckers. Don't be bashful now.
Yeah.
Don't be bashful now. Like, raise your hand if you tell people or think you have a warrior mindset. And then the majority of the guys finally raised their hand. And I said, all right. Who here before this class today, because it didn't start crazy early, who here went to the gym and worked out or went to their jiu-jitsu academy and trained? Nobody. Who here went to the gym yesterday?
I was going to say, I'm glad you gave them the last night caveat because I hate training in the morning.
Yeah, for sure. I do too. But I said, who here trained yesterday? Nobody raised their hand.
Okay, now we got a problem.
Yeah. Now we got a problem. I said, guys, who here thinks a warrior mindset is having the mental fortitude or thinking you have the mental fortitude to take someone's life? And someone raised their hand. I said, no. I said, that is not it. I said, because if you don't have the actual capability and skill set behind you, then it's for nothing. Mindset isn't everything. I said, a warrior mindset is, and you said it today, it was like a warrior lifestyle. Yeah. A warrior mindset is waking up every morning and training your body and mind for warfare and battle.
Yeah.
Whether you're sick, whether you're tired, whether you're hurt or injured, whether you're busy or not. Like, do you get up every day and go for a run, go work out, go train jiu-jitsu? One of them.
Yeah, you have to.
If you don't, you're wrong. If you don't, you're wrong. And you don't have a warrior mindset. Do you get up? Do you work with your guns and train with your guns, whether it be dry fire or go on the range, like a couple days a week? Because if you don't, no. Like, you don't have the skill set and capability to be a warrior. And that's a warrior mindset. And like my post that I posted the other night, you know, my son Jackson, 12 years old, got a cast on his wrist, on his lower arm.
Yeah.
And last night, the day after he got his cast, he pulled the gi over his cast and he trained jiu-jitsu with one arm. And he trained harder than I even would have wanted him to. You know?
Did he summon the spirit of Jacare?
But like, I wrote on his cast, he's like, Dad, will you write something?
That.
He did, Dad, will you write something on my cast? And I said, yeah. So I wrote Porrada even with cast.
Yeah, dude.
Right? Signed Dad, right? And he knows what that means, you know? And I said, my 12-year-old son has more of a warrior mindset than 99.9% of men out here. And he doesn't even know about taking a human life yet.
That's right.
Like, he's seen movies, he's heard Dad talk about stuff, but like, he doesn't really truly fathom violence yet.
Yeah.
But he's here in the gym every day training for warfare, for combat, for violence. Broke a wrist in a cast and is still training.
Yeah.
So warrior mindset has nothing to do with, do you think you're capable of taking human life or defending your family? Because if you have not made your mind and body capable of taking a life or defending your family, then you're not.
Well, I think a lot of people will misconstrue a warrior mindset for something that's going to serve you in the moment. Like,
yes.
Like, oh, well, I know that if this happens,
attacked now. Yeah.
If this happens, I'd do this or I'd do that or I'd be ready, you know? And it's like, dude, if you think everything's going to come together for you in that moment, it's the opposite of a warrior mindset.
Absolutely. 100%.
It's being naive as fuck, dude.
Right. Hope and prayers.
And yeah, and I've told you before, I've had listeners write me and be like, bro, we don't fight with axes anymore. This isn't Game of Thrones. You don't need to invest all this time into fitness and this and that. And it's just like,
no way somebody say that.
Swear to God, bro.
Fuck, dude.
And it's like, dude, if you and I decide to assault each other with our fucking Glock 19s from 25 yards and may the best man win, it's going to be the most exhausting 3 minutes of our entire life or 30 seconds of our entire life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
To think that modern combat isn't just as fatiguing.
No, bro.
It's
Also, it's like, when I think about myself, like, gunfighting, bro, realistic to my reality, it's gonna be on my apartment, you know. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be there. Somebody gonna go in. It's just gonna happen, right? But fighting, anywhere, bro, can happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. People are crazy. People assault other people out of nowhere
all the time,
you know
dude.
What I mean?
You see those fucking videos going around now? Do you guys follow that Street People of Los Angeles?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got homeless people that are just walking up randomly and just going,
bro. Did you see the one
and just punching people in their fucking
this
face?
Transgender dude with a fucking axe, bro. Swing the axe inside a liquor store.
No,
bro.
Dude.
Like knock you, like bang on the face, bro. Boom, the big one. You know what I mean?
He hit 2 people in the head?
Yeah.
God, dude, why can't this kind of stuff ever
happen
bro,
in front of me?
In a liquor store, I'd throw a fucking handle of vodka and bounce on that dude's fucking head.
And that's when that's one of the situations I feel like that's imminent. If I see somebody with a big ass fucking axe, bro, in their hands, I'm fighting the person.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's not doing nothing or being just,
bro.
I'm like, bro.
You come into
a gonna be around me
grocery store, you come into a gas station store with an axe in your hand, I'm fucking, I'm throwing shit at you, then attacking you and fucking taking that axe away from you.
And you know what, dude? Like, an axe in the hands of a man that knows how to fight with an axe, like some fucking Viking Brock Lesnar, you're probably gonna get fucking hurt real bad, right? The axe in the hands of a fucking transgender drug addict.
Yeah. You're not good down, but don't care.
Yeah, dude. You ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. It's like we talk about with like just closing the distance and clinching.
Right.
Just being able to do that changes the whole dynamics of a fight. And it's the same thing if a guy had an axe in his hand. Boom.
Boom.
Now what, dude? And it's funny, at deer camp last week, one of the guys, he goes, show me like one thing about jiu-jitsu. If I needed to know one thing. And this guy never trained before, right?
Yeah.
And we're standing in front of each other. And I just stepped in real quick, cut an angle, got a body lock, and pushed my head against his sternum and pulled his hips towards me. Little murder hug, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I love this guy too. He's my fucking brother. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, dude, you don't got to come at me like 100%. And me and Zach are like, that was 25%. You know? But no, I mean, for people that don't train, you put your hands on them, it's shocking. That's the whole point of bringing that up.
Massively.
It's shocking. You know?
Yeah.
And if you're a drug addict, transgender person, God, can you imagine a situation developing where you literally have a legal, moral, and ethical green light to kill somebody with your jiu-jitsu? God, it'd feel fucking amazing, dude. You're like, yeah, I've been there, done that.
We're all smiling.
Yeah, I haven't been, and that would be fucking rad. And the thing is, dude, if you're hitting people with an axe inside of a convenience store, we don't need you on Team Human anymore.
No.
So you can enjoy dispatching that person. That's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, we're given capability in life, like, and we don't get to use it that often.
Yeah.
Like,
but no, it's like you can enjoy killing bad guys. That's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I've been dealing with fucking theft out of my property and at the gym and shit.
Aggravates the fuck out of me.
It hasn't happened in a while, so I'm not like super murdery.
It's not fresh right now.
It's not fresh, so I'm not super murdery about it right now.
Your downriggers aren't gone.
Yeah, but dude, now you're starting to get me murdered. But when I think about that, I've come to the conclusion that if they arrest anybody that's over the age of 25 years old, it should be off with your head. Right?
Well, at least your hand. Do the whole Middle Eastern
hand?
thing.
You think it's hand?
Take the hand or arm.
But I'm not even joking, bro. You fucking sneak into my property in the middle of the night. You climb onto my boat.
Oh.
You don't even fucking steal my shit respectfully. You damage the fuck out of my boat.
Yeah.
Stealing shit from it by pulling shit off and not unbolting things and just being a fucking asshole. And come to find out, the guy that did it is 46 years old.
Yeah.
46 years old, bro.
Well, here's my thing, too. And people are like, oh, it's material goods. And
It
you
is
shouldn't
material
take their
goods.
They're not a productive human to society. They're a degradation of society. And now a danger of society.
Well, I want to say this, though. What do we tell the fucking students at Guns Gis is their most valuable commodity?
Their time.
Their time. So guess how much of my time it took to buy that fucking boat? You know what I'm saying?
And then to fix the boat.
You
and
can
everything.
say that it's material, but that's when I was still a police officer working fucking 12-hour shifts so my family could have a fucking boat to enjoy our weekends in. And if you think you get to steal that from me, you're not stealing my downriggers. You're stealing my time.
Right.
And that's a fucking death penalty, bro.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know?
Look, I feel the same way, and I've had a couple things stolen from me in my time. And, I went on a little bit of, like, a murderous, like, fact-finding mission.
Yeah.
And had I found, like, it would have been bad. It started as a kid. It started as a teenager. My mountain bike. And I raced mountain bikes growing up as a kid. So it wasn't like my bicycle I rode around town.
It wasn't your Huffy from Walmart?
Yeah, you know, it was like a really nice bike that was like one of my passions, my hobbies, like, you know. And it got stolen right out of my garage as a kid. And I ended up finding who took it and beat the fuck out of them.
That's hilarious,
you know?
dude.
And like, I was a kid. As an adult, I'll probably kill you.
Have you seen that video going around Instagram? And it might be fake. Who knows? It's the internet. Where
everything's on the internet is true, bro.
A little boy walks up to his dad and he goes, "Dad, I just beat up Timmy, the neighbor kid. He must have stolen my bike because he was riding around on my bike saying it was his. I kicked his butt." And the dad goes, "What? You're too big for that bike. I gave it to him." Yeah. And he still got his ass kicked for it.
That's dude. I got a story from Katrina.
Not for the podcast.
No, we can tell this.
Tell
one.
it. And then we'll wrap this up.
Statute of limitations isn't going to hurt us on this one. So during the early few days of Katrina, our lockup was flooded. There was no place to lock up any criminals. We couldn't lock up anyone. So, like, if we found someone looting, we just take their stuff from them and kick them in the ass and send them on their way.
Yeah.
And depending on what kind of assholes they were, if they tried to fight us, that would determine how badly they got tuned up.
Yeah.
Because we had nowhere to lock anyone up.
How did you articulate that in your report?
There were no reports.
That's exactly why I asked.
Fast forward, if we had a lethal force encounter, which we had several, and we had to kill someone, there's no place to put the body. There was no ambulance service to come pick the body up.
Yeah.
There was no morgue. So
it's just going to be a floating body in the fucking bayou.
I don't want to say there were bodies all over, but there were dead people laying around New Orleans, just laying there. And some of the neighbors that would come out would cover them up with rocks and stuff, but there was nothing to do, right?
It's nuts, bro.
And for weeks and weeks, they were just laying there, right? FEMA came down with like fucking hazmat suits and shit and picked up all the bodies that were dead all over the place. And I'm not even talking from like being killed, but
part of a city fucking flooding.
That's right. So we catch this guy in a stolen car, a bunch of stolen stuff. We get into a car chase. We pull him over. He tries to fight. We fucking tune him up. Bah, 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 bah. All of a sudden, we're like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. And we're like, run. And he starts running up the street, right? And he's running away from us.
He starts shooting in the ground by his feet.
No, we didn't do that. Easy. Okay. No, we didn't do it. So he's running away from us, right?
Scram.
Well, as he's running away from us, in the direction he's running is the state police's SWAT team on their APC. All yoked up big boys sitting on the outside of their armored personnel carrier driving towards us.
Are you marked or unmarked?
We're marked.
Okay.
We're marked at this time. And all they see is us and this dude running away from us.
So they hammer him.
So they like jump up and the biggest boy in full kit, wham, fucking drops him and they bring him back to us. We're like, no, we actually just
we cut him loose.
Just beat the shit out of him and cut him loose too. They're like, oh, okay.
All right, so now run that way.
Yeah, just get out of here, man. Get out of here. So he got it twicey.
Fuck yeah. All right, bro, let's wrap this up. I want you to...
You want me to read the BioPro ad for this episode?
No, I you know what? You can if you want to. Yeah, stay for ads. We're going to do ads after we stop this. But... Now, give everybody a quick recap. I mean, if you listen to the podcast, you know about your relocation to Fieldcraft. But for people that are in the area or people that know people in the area, just talk about what it is you're doing there and just help spread the word.
Yeah, so quick recap. So about 6 weeks ago now, I moved out to Provo, Utah to work for Mike Glover in Fieldcraft Survival. We opened up a full-on jiu-jitsu academy, Brazilian jiu-jitsu academy within the Fieldcraft headquarters. So it's not like a weekend course thing. It is like an every day we have training. We've already built up quite a good student base in the first month. Already have a couple higher level belts training with us. And we're breaking bread with some of the other academies and professors. They've been super cool. And we're building like a nice little community down there. But yeah, it's a regular jiu-jitsu academy, month to month, monthly memberships, and you come and train. But the facility's rad. They've got the retail store, they've got the gun shop now, so they're selling some good high-end guns. The classroom, the CQB shoot house has now been expanded, so it's bigger now. Cold plunges in. We're waiting on the sauna.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, 6-person barrel sauna. Cold plunges in.
Are they going to put the barrel inside or outside?
Inside.
Nice.
Inside, yeah. It's all in that recovery room.
Okay, yeah.
Behind the classroom. And
bro, I'm telling you, you saw it at my academy, but a couple things that are based around recovery.
Yeah.
What you find is it keeps people around for a little bit. And it's, you know what it does more than aid in recovery is camaraderie.
Yeah, for sure.
The sauna's filled with people. Because, dude, at jiu-jitsu, yeah, you're bonding with those people, but you're bonding in a physical realm.
Right.
You don't get to sit there and talk about your problems.
You're drilling and fighting.
Yeah. in the sauna, man, it's cool watching that happen.
Well, so doing that, and then I'm also assisting and running a lot of the other courses. So a lot of their tactical and shooting courses, I'm being brought into to teach or help teach.
Is that because you're kind of good at that stuff too?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. I was never in the military, but same thing with the off-roading courses, the mobility stuff. I'm going to be assisting in some of that stuff, the moto stuff.
You going to tell everybody to take their Predator steps off their Forerunners?
Yes, take your Predator steps off your Forerunners.
Rule number one.
Rule number one. You do not need steps on your Nerf bars that will get you high-centered and hung up and stuck. On your rock sliders. But yeah, so no, it's super cool. If you're in the area, come down and visit. If you're close and want to start jiu-jitsu, go check out, the website, fieldcraftsurvival.com, and come on down, meet us.
Word. Joao?
That's it, man. Good one.
Don't fucking join me at Huntington Beach.
Oh yeah,
for jiu-jitsu at Electric Jiu-Jitsu.
Where jiu-jitsu works.
Was it Bolsa Chica and Warner?
Bolsa Chicken Warner.
Fuck yeah. The room that I got my black belt out of.
Yeah, man.
Every time I drive by there or go there, it's kind of like, I was standing right there.
Yeah.
Well, my black belt got tied around my waist. It's kind of nuts, dude. So, all right, let's go do Guns and Gis.
Bam.
Oops.